Alright, so this vid's gonna be about my thoughts on other wrestling channels. Actually, some guy asked me to do a video on who inspired me to make a YouTube channel. It's easy, the Brad Rules pretty much. Started watching his videos around, I think it was like just over a year ago, in like January or that December, about a year ago. And I thought he was cool, and I was like, oh, I should do this, and so I started it a couple months after I started watching him, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So that's pretty much who inspired me to do it. And so I wanted also to give my thoughts on like other wrestling channels when I think of them. In no way am I trying to gain attention from them or anything like that, because actually most of my opinions on these wrestling channels I'm going to mention are actually positive. There are a few that I don't like, but this video is going to be mainly positive reviews on those wrestling channels. So let's actually start off with the Brad Rules. I like the Brad Rules, one of my favorite channels. He's funny at times. He gives his opinions. He doesn't lie about anything. He gives good opinions. He backs it up, and most things we agree on, actually. So, and by the way, I can disagree with you about everything in wrestling, but as long as you have a legitimate opinion, then I don't have a problem with your opinion. If you have retarded reasons to back up your opinions, then I can't agree with your opinions, or I can't accept your opinions. I can disagree with your opinions, but you gotta have legitimate reasons to back up your opinions. But the Brad Rules, his opinions are good. He's got legitimate reasons to back him up. So, I like the Brad Rules. Other wrestling channels, let's see, there's Wrestling Jesus. I like him too. He's funny, he's entertaining. I wish his Raw reviews, though, were a bit longer, but it's alright. I'd rather have a 7 or, how long is it? It's about 5 minutes. His Raw reviews are 5-6 minutes. I'd rather have like a 5 or 6 minute review than a fucking 3 hour review like some people on here do. So I like the Wrestling Jesus. He's funny. He put a really funny video, a song about The Rock on one of his channels. It was funny. It was very funny. And again, he's funny. He has good opinions, and I like him. And he backs up his opinions. Next one. Let's see. Oh, there's a podcast. You can find it on Stitcher Radio. It's a podcast. It's called the Solid Monster Sound. Or I think it's just Solid Monster Sounds Off. Very good podcast. Again, download the podcast app and you can find it on there. It's on I think it's on iTunes. It's on Stitcher Radio. Very entertaining podcast. It goes up once a week. It's about 2 hours long usually. Sometimes a little less. Usually a little less than 2 hours, but around that area. And it's a very good podcast. He does Raw reviews on the podcast. He does SmackDown reviews, NXT reviews, TNA reviews, you name it. It's a good podcast. Very well spoken person. Very everything about that podcast is great. I mean, he obviously does his homework before the podcast. You could tell he's just good. He comes prepared to do it, and he also does a today or this week in wrestling history, and he also answers questions from other people. So I very much enjoy it. And the one good thing about podcast app, you can put on your headphones. Here's my headphones. Put them on, and then stick the phone in your pocket. Turn it off, and it'll still play. So that's one good thing about the podcast app. With YouTube, the screen stays on, so it wastes a ton load of power. So I hate that about YouTube. It's stupid. The only reason they do that is so you could stay on their fucking channel. A lot of the YouTube's a piece of shit. I hate YouTube sometimes, and especially that fucking app. Why can't you just turn on a YouTube video? Turn off your phone and then have it still play. It's bullshit. It's the shit they do with that YouTube app. But anyway, that's not the point. Solid Monster, go check him out. It's a very good podcast. Other ones, the Bruce Blitz. Oh man, this is what I don't like. Why? A couple reasons. One, I don't really listen to him because his videos are too fucking long. I can't listen to fucking 3 hour videos. Holy shit! It's like after Raw, he does live videos, after Raw, they're like 3 hours long. How does he do that? Does he have work the next day? Does he go to bed at fucking 2:30 in the morning? Holy shit! I mean, for somebody to listen to that, they must, especially on that Monday night. How can you fucking, stay up that late on I know I stay up pretty late on Monday nights, usually about 1:30 at the latest. But, I don't fucking stay up till 2:30. That's a little ridiculous. Maybe, I don't know. But, like, when I don't have school on Tuesday, I will stay up a lot later. But, the point is, too long. 3 hours. I don't fucking have time to watch 3 hours. You might say, oh, the Solid Monster does 2 hours, but that's different. He does one video a week. That's it. The Bruce Blitz does many videos. I saw he made one video, it was fucking 45 minutes long, not even on a Raw review. The longest I've seen Raw reviews are like 15, 30 minutes. That's like the general time span. He does 3 fucking hours. I haven't seen anybody even come close to doing 3 hour Raw reviews in the fucking ever. So it's a little bit too long. When you do a review that's longer than the actual show, it's like, what's the point of even reviewing it if you're just gonna do a review longer than the fucking show? Holy shit! I watched 2.5 hours of Monday Night Raw. Actually, 3 hours counting commercials. 3+ hours counting commercials. I don't want to go and watch a 3 hour review. Out of his review, I checked it out one time. It's just repetitive bullshit. He's got his couple friends who do the review with them, just agreeing with every fucking thing he says. They agree with everything. I hate channels like that where they have 2 or 3 people doing the reviews and then one person just agreeing, oh yeah, you're right. Just agrees with everything the other person says as the head of the group. So it's and they just say the same thing. Bruce will say something and then the other person will say the exact same thing. And one other thing, they bash Cena all the fucking time. They can't give this guy 1 ounce of credit because I don't know why. When he does something good, give him fucking credit, guys. It's retarded. And I'm not just talking about Bruce Bliss. There's many people in the YWC who will continually bash Cena for fucking, just all the time. Does something good. Wrestles a 5-star match. Wrestles a 4-star match. No, he was carried. Cuts a great promo. No, that promo sucked. Because he does have his spurts where he does good. I've said this before. If Cena was actually serious, I think he would be a quality entertainer. I think he would be a good wrestler. If he didn't go out there and cut PG lame jokes, if he didn't act PG, he would be good because he is a decent wrestler. And I hate people who do that. They will bash somebody no matter what, or they will praise somebody no matter what. Get a lot of Orton fans doing that. No matter what Orton does. Orton's awesome. Orton's great. Just annoying. Shut the fuck up already. So, that's basically all the wrestling channels I watch. I know there's more out there. But yeah, there's my, I guess if you want to call it a shoot or whatever. It's not really a shoot. It's just really giving my opinions on, the wrestling channels out there. So yeah, check them out. So there you go, people.